In my opinion, the greatest moment in the history of the NCAA tournament was Christian Laettner's shot to beat Kentucky and send Duke to the Final Four in 1992. Now, if you're a Wolves fan like me, you might remember Christian Laettner a little differently. You might remember him as a pretty big bust in the NBA. You might remember him for the loser, 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 winner comment, if you've heard that story. But regardless of what you think of Christian Laettner's professional career, or even what you think of him as a person, you cannot deny the greatness of that shot. I mean, it had everything. It was a great game between two powerhouses, Kentucky and Duke, trying to get to the Final Four. The game went into overtime. There's just 2 seconds left. They got to go the length of the court. They're down by 1. If they can't score, they lose the game and go home. Coach K admitted later that he thought they lost. He thought it was over. But Grant Hill inbounds all the way to the other free throw line, and Christian Laettner catches it, turns, shoots at the buzzer, time expires, Duke goes back to the Final Four, where eventually they beat Michigan's Fab Five for the national championship. I'm saying all of this to say, maybe you think time is running out to achieve your dreams. Maybe you think it's over, you lost. But as long as there's time on the clock, as long as you have breath in your lungs, as long as you have a heartbeat, you have hope. And what made that shot so amazing was the difficulty of it, was how little time there was left on the clock, right? If there was more time on the clock, if the game was tied instead of they were down 1, if they were at half court instead of trying to go the length of the court, all those things would have made that shot easier, but wouldn't have been as historic. The shot wouldn't have been as amazing. It wouldn't be something that you tell your children and grandchildren about. It wouldn't be this legend that's going to go down in the history of the NCAA tournament. And one of, if not, in my opinion, the greatest moment in NCAA history. So whatever situation you find yourself in right now, maybe you think this is the darkest, most difficult situation one could possibly be in. Maybe you think there's no way that there's enough time. That's what makes a buzzer beater historic. If you're down, if you're in a bad situation, if you think there's not enough time left, just think about how great the story is going to be when you make history. If Abraham would have had Isaac when he was 30, no big deal. Nobody cares, nobody even remembers who he is, right? 50, 60, 70, okay, starting to get impressive. 80, 90, 100 years old, he has Isaac. You know how he could have just given up and said, you know what, God, this plan of yours isn't gonna work. We're out of time, I'm 100 years old. But because he had him at 100, it was historic. It was amazing. It's a story, a legend that people have been being told for literally thousands of years. People still tell that story. So if you find yourself down and you think you're out of time, that's okay, God's clutch. He's gonna come through, and he's got a historic buzzer beater just waiting for you.